welcome back to my channel. So today I am back with another video, and this time we're going to be doing a redesign. So of course the first thing that I'm doing is going in with my extra coarse drill bit, and we're just going to file down the acrylic, of course getting rid of that colored acrylic. That way we can go in and replace it with a new color. So again, this is my extra coarse drill bit. I do have it on my website, and I am using the Melody Susie Scarlet nail drill, which I highly recommend. I do have a promo code for them, so I'll be sure to leave that down below as well. And during this step, I am using my Efile at 15,000 RPMs. Alrighty, so after I finish filing down the acrylic, I'm going in with my cuticle pusher, and we're just pushing back those cuticles, and this is going to expose the new growth and help with reducing lifting. As always, you can use any type of cuticle pusher, whether it's plastic, metal, or wood, as long as it can be disinfected or disposed of. Next, we're going to go in with the 180 sanding band, and this time I'm using my Efile at 5,000 RPMs, and we're just going to go in and remove the shine from the natural nail. You want to make sure that you get as close as you can to that cuticle area, because then you will get lifting if you don't. So again, just going around that cuticle area and removing the shine from the natural nail. And as always, you know, if you feel like 5,000 RPMs is either too fast or too slow, just speed up just adjust the speed to whatever you feel comfortable using it at. But just make sure, y'all, that you fully remove the shine. You also don't want to file too much, so just look at the nail as you're doing this, and then once you see no shine, then you can move on to the next nail. But this step is usually really fast. After that, we're gonna go ahead and dust the nails off, and then going in with the JC Beauty Concepts primer. We're applying that on the natural nail only, and the primer helps with the acrylic adhering to the natural nail better. So remember that your primer is not necessarily going to prevent lifting, because lifting comes from a number of things. So even if you get like the best and most expensive primer, that doesn't necessarily mean that you're not going to get lifting. So just wanted to remind you guys of that. So I'm going in with the clear acrylic by JC Beauty Concepts, and then I'm gonna also go in with the pink acrylic. It's a really light pink, and then it has like a little bit of shimmer in it, and it's called Celeste, which is the same one that I have on my nails. So we're just gonna be applying that on all of the nails, and then of course we're gonna go in and encapsulate. But with this acrylic being so light, you want to make sure that of course you apply enough to where you have a good coverage and it doesn't look patchy. patchy, and then we just go in with the clear to build our apex and the thickness at the tip. You always want to make sure that you focus on your apex, because that's where your breakage will come from. If your nails are breaking in half, like at the tip, that means that your apex is not strong enough, which means that it's too thin, because that's where your nail gets its strength from. So if you hit it on something, if your nail is too thin, then it's just gonna break right off. So make sure that you keep that in mind when doing nails. So when I'm working, I always am constantly looking at the nail from the side, like you see me doing there. I just kind of lift it up and look at it from the sides. That way I know exactly where I need to add more product at. So make sure that you always constantly do that. And then of course making sure that our tip has a good thickness as well. So like I said, we're gonna do that on all of them. So doing the clear first, just a small bead. That way whenever we come in to do another redesign, we can just fall away the colored acrylic, and then we'll have the clear underneath. That way we don't have to do a new set every time. So now we're going in with the color Celeste. As always, I do have a promo code for JC Beauty Concepts, so I will be sure to leave that link down below. But yeah, so we're basically going to do the same thing on all of the nails. Like I said, doing the pink and then going in and doing the clear to encapsulate once we have a good coverage of this light pink. Alrighty, so as I was working, a little bit of the acrylic was getting stuck to my brush, and as you guys know, when I did my nails with the same color, the same thing happened, and it's just because it has so much glitter in it that the glitter easily gets stuck on your brush. So you want to make sure that you're constantly wiping your brush off a lot as you're working. And if you do see that there's acrylic built up in your brush, just soak it in brush cleaner for about 10 minutes and let that acrylic soak off. Thankfully, I have a spare brush, so I just switched over to using my other Alpha brush in a number 10. They're both the same size and they're both by Alpha. However, the pink one is not yet available for purchase since it is part of a collaboration that I'm doing with them. So I'll be sure to keep you guys updated once that brush is out and for sale. So same thing, we're going to go in and apply the clear now, and then we're going to do the same thing for the next one, doing the clear, doing the pink, and doing clear again. Remember that when you're doing your first bead of the clear, you don't want it to be super big because you just literally want it to use it as a base. That way next time we come in, we have the clear underneath. We can just follow away the colored acrylic and we'll still have the clear underneath. Alrighty, also just a reminder that when you are doing acrylic nails, like I said, you want to make sure that you wipe your brush off a lot, but you also want to make sure that as you're working, you clean around the cuticle area really good, because you don't want any product on the skin. And then also, if you guys notice, when I'm working, I brush the sides of the nails as well. That way the acrylic does not take away from your shape, because sometimes when you apply the acrylic, it kind of even makes the acrylic or the nail look a little bit wider if you get it like on the side a lot. So you kind of want to push that acrylic in by wiping the sides, and I'll show you here in just a second when I'm doing it, or I'll tell you when I'm doing it. Like right there, you see how like I wipe the side with like the side of my brush, and then also the free edge, like I said, that's just so it doesn't take away from your shape and it doesn't make the nail wider. So again, making sure that when you're brushing your acrylic down or placing it down, you pat it down and then brush it down. But when you brush, you want to be super gentle to where you're not brushing away the product. You want the product to stay on the nail. You just want to blend it in with the rest of the nail. Also, as I'm doing this, I just want to remind you guys that as a beginner, you want to make sure that you just have a lot of patience, because doing acrylic nails is definitely not easy. I mean, it looks really easy, but it's definitely a lot harder than it looks. And trust me, I get that a lot of people always tells me that, you know, it just looks so easy, but once they try it, like, you know, it's actually a technique to it. You know, you can't just dip your brush into the liquid and then the powder and then have a perfect bead. It takes some practice. So just a reminder that I do have a practice sheet. I'll be sure to leave that link down below so you guys can download it and use it to practice your liquid to powder ratio. And then I do also have a video about tips for beginner. I believe it's 11 tips for beginners. I'll be sure to leave that down below as well. And it's just me talking about, you know, like taking clients, practicing, taking care of yourself physically. So it's just a lot of good tips that you guys should go check out if you are a nail beginner. Alrighty, so now we're going to be filing the nails or reshaping, and I'm going in with my 80/80 hand file, and we're just going to file both sides and the free edge at exactly a 90-degree angle. And then as a reminder that I know you guys always hear me talking about like the 180 sanding band and the 80/80 hand file, and the numbers just basically means like the grit. So the higher the number, the finer the grit is going to be. So that means it's not going to be as coarse. And then the lower the number, the more coarse your sanding bands or hand files are going to be. So to remove the shine from the natural nail, like I said, I use a 180 sanding band. If you're using just a regular hand file to do all of your filing, you should use a 180 hand file as well to remove the shine from the natural nail. And then to shape, I use the 80/80, and since the number is lower, that means that it is coarse, so you're able to shape the nails up a lot faster. You don't want to use like a 180 hand file to shape up the nails, because I mean, you can shape them up, but it's just going to take a little bit longer because it's not as coarse. So just keep that in mind. But again, we're just going in and reshaping the nails. We're going to do that on both hands. And then also, I forgot to mention, but we are skipping the pinky on the other hand because she hit it. I think she hit it on the door, or she jammed it in the door, something like that, but it broke her nail off really bad. And so she's letting it grow out, but it's like to the point where her nail, like her natural nail, lifted from her nail bed. So she's just gonna let it grow out. And at first I told her to just wait until that nail grew out, but she insisted to just come in and, you know, get all her other nails done, and then she was just gonna wear the little brace over her pinky so she wouldn't hurt it anymore, which that's fine with me. But yeah, I just wanted to mention that. But as you can see, it is that pinky on that hand, and yeah, so we're just gonna let it, you know, grow out for a little bit. Alrighty, so now I'm going in with my fine drill bit, and we're just going to file all of the nails. I'm going around the cuticle area first, going from the right side all the way over to the left side, going back and forth until you're able to see where your cuticle is, where your natural nail is, and where the acrylic is. That way you know that the acrylic is not on the skin. And also, guys, you know how I was using the ceramic drill bit? Well, I definitely can tell a huge difference between using the ceramic one and this one. With this one, I feel like you're able to get like a much neater cuticle area, or you're able to seal the cuticle area a lot neater, and you don't have such a big gap in between the cuticle and the acrylic. So I would suggest, you know, trying this one out, but I still kind of recommend the ceramic one just to practice with, and so you can get a little bit more comfortable with it, since it's not as sharp as this one. This one is definitely a little bit more sharp, and it's even, I think this one is a fine one, but I also have an extra fine one, and these I do have on my Amazon storefront, so I'll be sure to add the link to that. Alrighty, so now I'm just going to go in with the buffer, and this is going to get rid of any of the scratches left on the nails from the hand file or the e-file, so you want to make sure that you buff those nails really, really good. Next, we're going to go in and dust the nails off, and then I'm going in with an alcohol wipe and just wiping the nails off to get rid of any of the dust that's left on the nails. And then after that, we're going to go in with polish. So the first color that I'm using is going to be in the color Harp on It by Color Club. And y'all, after watching this video, I was like, yeah, it's time for me to get a new bottle, because look, I was struggling. I've even put a little bit of acetone in this polish just to make it last a little bit longer, but I definitely went ahead and just got a new one. But this one lasts me a really long time, because you guys know that I only use it as a base for my bling, so it usually, you know, only takes like one coat of it, and that's fine. So it will last you a long time. But you'll find it on Amazon. I do have it in my Amazon storefront as well, which, like I said, I will have that link down below for you guys. But now I'm going in with the Soleil nail adhesive, and we're just going to apply some bling all over this nail. So we're using a mixture of the AB SS6 SS12. I'm also using some pink ones, and I'm going to be using some pearls. So we're really doing something very similar to what I have on my nails as far as the colors. She really liked mine, so she wanted to do something similar, but I did want to switch it up just a little bit. But of course, to apply the bling, you want to make sure that you alternate between the different sizes as well as the different colors. So just go in and apply them, and it's kind of like a little puzzle. You're literally just going in and filling in the gaps with the different sizes as you go. As you can see, I usually start in the middle of the nail closer to the cuticle area, just work my way around the perimeter of the nail, and then just fill in the gaps as I go. Alrighty, so next I'm going in with the Madam Glam Gel Top Coat, and I'm going to apply that on the index finger. And I am going to be doing some snowflakes on that one, so that's why I want to go ahead and do a base, because you guys will see what I'm going to do. But now I'm going in with the Madam Glam Perfect White. I'm going to apply that on the rest of the fingers, and I'm just going to outline the sides just like this. And I'm just using my small marble nail brush, which I do have on my website, so I'll be sure to leave the link down below. I also have the little nail polish plate, which I use all the time, and I just use it, of course, to put my polish on. That way I don't have polish all over the place, or I'm not having to dip my little nail art brush into my gel polish. You just use this little plate. And then I also have that cleanup brush that I'm using. I have it on my website as well, so be sure to go check it out before it sells out. Alrighty, so now we're gonna go back in and do a second coat of the white. So same thing, just going in with my small nail art brush and basically just outlining what we already have there. So after I've cured the top coat, of course, I'm going in with that same perfect white gel polish and I'm going to draw some snowflakes. So what I do is I just do like a cross and then I do 2 more lines going across like diagonal, and then I draw the little sticks on each little line. And when you're doing this, you want to make sure that your brush does not have a lot of polish on it. So as you see, whenever I'm picking up more polish, I kind of drag my brush a little bit to where it kind of wipes away some of that polish. That way it doesn't make like super wide lines. And also you want to make sure that you're really gentle whenever you're doing the lines. That way you don't press down too hard. So I'm going to draw another one down below, but same thing, just a little bit smaller. Alrighty, so while the gel polish is still wet, I'm going to go in and just sprinkle a little bit of this white glitter acrylic over the nail. That way it's going to give that white a little bit of texture, so it's going to be like textured little snowflakes. So I'm going to do the same thing on this one, except for on this one I didn't do the top coat underneath, because since I have the white at the tip, I really don't want it to have a lot of texture, if that makes sense. So I am going to do a top coat over the snowflakes on this nail. But same thing, just drawing our snowflake again, you just do a cross and then you do 2 more lines diagonal, and then you just go in and draw the little 2 lines on each side on each little stick. Alrighty, so while that one is curing, we're going to go ahead and apply the rest of the bling on the other fingers. And I'm just going to go in and do around the cuticle area on this one. I'm doing some pink. I'm doing my small AB SS6. And then I'm also going to do a pearl. And then for the pinky, I'm going to do some pink ones going down the nail, just closer to the cuticle area. And then same thing for the thumb. Alrighty, so once I've applied the bling, I'm gonna spray the nails with the Hurry Up spray, which is a spray that helps the bling dry, or sorry, the glue dry a lot faster. And then after that, we're just going in with the Madam Glam Gel Top Coat. We're gonna apply that on all of the nails, and then we're gonna cure for 60 seconds. And the Hurry Up spray, I also have that on my Amazon storefront. Alrighty, so now I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing on this other hand. So we're just going to apply the bling on the entire ring finger. Again, you just go in and apply the bling on there. Just alternate between the different sizes and then just fill in the entire nail. And then we are going to apply some more on the ring finger, sorry, on the middle finger and the thumb. And like I said, the pinky, we're not going to do anything to it. It's still a little bit sore on her. So we're just going to let it grow out until it no longer hurts. And then until it's long enough to apply a nail tip. And I do want to remind you guys that when you have a client that has a broken nail like this, or even if you have a broken nail yourself, you don't want to do a nail on there, because especially if it's super short, and even especially if it's sore, if it hurts, or if it had been bleeding, you want to just let it heal, because if you put anything on there, you're gonna break it off and it's gonna be even worse than the first time. Trust me, I know what I'm telling you. So just be careful, you know, just be patient, let it grow, and then you can add whatever you want, but just most definitely let it grow out, because if not, you will hurt it even worse. Alrighty, y'all, so here is the final look. As you can see, they turned out really pretty. I love that glittery acrylic, and I just love all of that bling. So as always, I hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Follow me on Instagram at GetNail32, and I will see you guys next time.